Excuse me, pardon the interruption.
As soon as I start? What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time.
First off, welcome.
If you don't know me at all, let me introduce myself. Around these parts, I'm known as Miss Wallace. The internet knows me as Dyslexia, but you can call me Danny. Welcome to my channel. We got some new stuff going on this year. I know you guys are used to me doing a lot of hair, natural hair content, reviews, tips, tricks, and tools for if you have your curls and you want them popping and thriving and all that stuff. But I have really been wanting to get on here and share my wealth of knowledge for teaching people to read. I am really good at it. Like, I don't pat myself on the back a lot. I don't pat myself on the back. Ever. But anyway, something that I know for sure is that teaching to read is a very complex process. Learning to read is a very complex process. And I think we take that for granted sometimes. I also think I take for granted that it is a serious skill set to be able to teach somebody how to read, especially a struggling reader who may be dyslexic or may have other underlying learning disorders that are hindering them from being their best reading selves. So you know what? I decided I already have this platform. I have a great audience. I want to grow my audience. I want to grow my platforms. And what better way to do it than to come on here and share what I know, share what I do every day, give you all my expertise. Okay, now that we got all of that out the way, this is why we're here. So I am an academic interventionist in one of the largest public school systems in America. Specifically, I cater to Tier 3 students as a reading specialist. I am also certified to work with dyslexic and or other learning disabled readers. I wanted to start this series because as someone who teaches reading every single day, I understand teaching reading is a very complex process, okay? The ultimate goal of reading is to understand the text. How the reader gets to that understanding is a whole nother complex process that takes place in the brain and on the tongue and a whole bunch of science stuff that I am not qualified to talk about. But there are some things that I am qualified to talk about, and that is why we're here. At the end of the day, everybody needs their brain processes to work together to come to one ultimate goal and understanding when it comes to reading. What is that goal? Comprehension. Unfortunately though, in order to reach that goal for some of our learners, it's not as easy as a 1, 2, 3 process. Some of our students are missing steps, missing foundational skills, or it just may not make sense to them in their experience. So they need different ways to learn, to grow, to develop skills, to grasp concepts and things of the like. How do we get there? What do we do? How can we help these students? How can we help these learners? Are there tools? Are there programs? Are there tips? Are there tricks? Help us. Don't worry, I got you. Before we get into any tips, any tricks, anything, let's talk about what it means to be dyslexic or to deal with dyslexia. Let's break down the word. Dys means difficulty. Lexia means words and or language. Difficulty with words and language. In essence, dyslexia is a language-based learning disorder that affects a person's ability to learn and or read. Students with dyslexia often struggle with many skills, anywhere from letter identification to spelling to decoding to encoding, reversals, rhyming, sight words.
Donna, Lynn, Pat, Lori, Shelly, Aaliyah, Rose, Brian, Darren, and Ulysses.
You name it, 9 times out of 10, a dyslexic student will have struggles with those skills and concepts. So how do we know if a person is dyslexic? Well, we assess them. What I do specifically is I have a huge binder of assessments. So we go through a very extensive assessment process where we are able to really pinpoint a student's specific needs and set specific goals that'll help that student become a better learner and better reader. Since dyslexia results from a language glitch in the brain, there's really no cure. But there are remediation tactics, techniques, tips, and tools that we can give students or a person of any age, truly, that'll help them overcome dyslexia and be proficient readers, writers, and learners. So one of the main and most well-known approaches to learning used to help dyslexic readers or to help those learners who have some type of disorder or disability, or you may not have a disorder or disability, you may just struggle a little bit. You may just be missing a couple of foundational skills that's keeping you from being great. It's called the Orton Gillingham approach. What in the world is the Orton Gillingham approach? It is the approach that introduced breaking down reading and spelling into very small parts that can build on top of each other so that over time, you're learning the skills that you need to be a proficient reader and writer. You will often hear me refer to Orton Gillingham as OG simply because Orton Gillingham is a mouthful. OG, quick, short, to the point, means the same thing. So if you hear me say OG, that's what I'm referring to. That's what I mean. And that's it. OG is not a fix-all. It's also not a quick fix. A lot of people have asked, is Orton Gillingham a phonics program? Orton Gillingham includes phonics. It begins with very simple alphabetic principles in the beginning, and again, it builds to become more complex over time. So yes, it includes phonics, but it's not just phonics. Oh, I've also been asked, what grade levels can Orton Gillingham be used for? Well, guess what? It is a program that is not just used in schools. It can be used for learners of any age and any stage. That means pre-K to adult. Okay, so let's get a little bit more specific. What skills are taught using OG? The teaching of new concepts incorporates audio, visual, and kinesthetic pathways. With this approach, students can learn language by ear, mouth, eyes, and hands. The Orton Gillingham approach was created in the 1930s and is still known as one of the most effective dyslexia programs for struggling readers. So, if OG is this great program, right? Why doesn't it work for everyone? Valid question. So if you've had a student or if you yourself have participated in an OG program and you have not had success, there are other things that could be affecting that. It could be an auditory problem, it could be a memory issue, but it is important to have an instructor who is aware that these other things do affect the way that we read, the way that we learn, the way that we experience text. So who needs OG? Well, it's a literacy program. Any learner or student who struggles with any part of literacy or reading can greatly benefit from the OG program. Okay, so in this series, I will be breaking down each part of an OG lesson, showing you how I do it, giving you tips, giving you tools, answering questions, anything that can help us better teach our students, our peers, whoever, how to be better readers. We're gonna go through phonological awareness. We're gonna go through 3-part drill. We're gonna go through a multi-sensory new sound introduction. We'll go through dictation, we'll go through read words, we'll go through vowel and or skill intensives, we'll go through oral reading. It's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into an OG lesson, okay? We may not get to all of it. I may not go into depth on every single topic, task, part of a lesson, but I will at least introduce it. I will at least show you how I do it, and hopefully we'll have a little fun. If you're a struggling reader, if you're a new reader, if you're just someone who wants to learn how to interact with text in a different, more exciting way, you've come to the right place. So I'm so excited. I hope you guys enjoy the series. March is reading month, so what better time to kick this off? Well, it's no time like the present. So let's do this. We got this. We can do it. We can do it. We got this. Can you tell them I work in the elementary school? Because I just, all the energy. All right. Subscribe, turn on your notifications. We finna read. We finna be some readers. I love to say finna. Judge yourselves. Bye. I'm so excited, but I just can't hide. I'm about to lose control, but I think I like it. Do 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 do.